Welcome to The Cubing Show with Brad, the guy who edits stuff. Bryce, the guy who does stuff.
This intro isn't working, Reese. Just give up. Give up on the intro. It's not gonna happen.
So, thank goodness the companies are listening to our podcast.
Yes, even though it's not out yet.
Because the Yushin 2x2 has now been announced. It was announced like a week ago from cancube.org, said they were going to get it, and there was a bunch of hype. And we're pretty interested because they're pretty cheap usually, but I don't feel like it's going to be anything too great because people who make good kind of 3x3s and 4x4s usually don't make good 2x2s. Like Sheng Xiao, their 3 and 4 were alright, but their 2 was pretty terrible. So I'm pretty interested.
Diane's 2x2 is like the only good cube that they made.
Yeah. But their 3x3 was okay, and their 4x4 was absolutely terrible. Also, look who's on the box, but Colin Burns.
Look who's on the box, it's our friend, Colin.
Hi!
I like how he's holding the 3x3 and the 4x4 now.
Big hands. So this is because Colin set a world record, the 5.25, set that with a Euxin 3x3. I can only assume that that's the reason he's on the boxes.
Yeah, because they just want to try and get money, and obviously people are going to see Colin on the box and go, oh, it's the best cube.
So Felix had the same thing happen. He was all over the Moyu boxes when he got the world record with the Moyu cubes.
Yeah.
And that didn't last, well, it lasted pretty long actually. But
yeah.
It eventually ended because Felix was all like, rah, Moyu, you suck. And then Moyu was all like, and then they got him off the boxes.
People still listen to him more than they should. Like, the amount of people who started thinking GANs were good suddenly when he switched to one, it was pretty unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Because I knew like 3 other people who used the GANs and actually got fast with it. And people were like, oh no, since nobody's using it, it's terrible, why should I get it? And then Felix starts using it and just go, oh, it's the best cube ever.
So back to the Euxin 2x2. It comes in 3 colours, black, white, and is stickerless a colour? So this comes after stickerless cubes are now legal in competitions.
Yep.
So obviously it is in everyone's best interest, or the cube manufacturer's best interest, to create stickerless cubes.
Yeah. One thing that I do find interesting about Yushin is now that they've changed the stickers from kind of matte to normal kind of glossy stickers, which I am very, very, very happy about, because the matte stickers, if you watched the last episode, they're just silly. They're absolutely terrible. But overall, looking at it from the outside, it kind of reminds me of a Fangshi, but also of a Lingpo.
Stickers aren't fitted. They're not fitted for this cube, I don't think. They don't look fitted.
Yeah, I don't mind about non-fitted stickers. I mean, it's not the worst thing that ever happened to life.
That Hitler guy was pretty bad. But
yeah.
These non-fitted stickers, pretty bad as well.
Let's talk about Kong's design.
So they also made a 2x2.
Which is, it's interesting because they haven't made a 4x4 yet, so they're one of the first companies ever to do that. I think even Moyu released their way soon before they released the Lingpo.
It appears the link I put in the show notes is dead, so that's great. But I did have a few notes here. It was just the mechanism pictures, I believe. I'll see if I can find another rehost of them.
Yeah.
But you can't really tell what the cube's like from the mechanism at all, nor can you from the outside. Can anyone look at the mechanism and think, oh, this cube's gonna be great? No.
Oh, look at Stickler. Somebody's bound to get a world record on that cube.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those non-fitted stickers. Nobody's ever going to get faster than. Also, YJ has released another 2x2. I mean, they've made 2x2s before. They made even like YJ Lingpo a while ago, which was pretty bad. In fact, a lot of the YJ 2x2s were all terrible. But it's cool to see them making another one again.
And that link is also dead, so it's going to be a fun scavenger hunt all over Google to find some more images for that. But It does exist. Take our word for it.
So it's kind of cool to see all the big companies starting to make 2x2s again, because there was a huge gap between the 2x2s. Like, nothing's happened in basically the last year and a half. I mean, Factory's released a couple, but they haven't been anything groundbreaking, so...
Factory gives a crap.
Yeah.
Oh, Factory.
To be honest, I still prefer the first one over the second one.
Couldn't pay me to use either, though.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
let's talk about corner twists.
So we talked about corner twists last time, and we didn't really finish the discussion about it. Kind of tape it off onto the next topic. And
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it a bit more,
Yep.
and I think this is the pun of the century here, right?
Yeah.
This problem is unsolvable.
Oh.
Oh yeah, see what I did there? So you were talking about how the system that we currently have for punishing, I guess, plus twos is unjust.
Yep.
It is not a good system. So right now you get a DNF.
Yeah, which is terrible.
That is a bad system because, would you like to say why, Reese, Bryce, someone?
Because anybody, if you've twisted the corner in the first place, which you obviously shouldn't have, but it happened anyway, then obviously you can twist it back. Anybody can twist it back, which means that it really shouldn't be a DNF. It should be something like a +2, because I reckon anybody can twist back a corner in 2 seconds or less easily. So
I mean, you can do a U prime in less than 2 seconds, but you still get +2s for that.
But yeah, it definitely should be changed. It's just not funny anymore. Although cubes are getting like much better. Like if you've tried the new Tanglong, it's pretty impossible to actually twist a corner, which is funny.
Have you got a Tanglong?
No, but I've tried quite a few.
I have no cubing friends, Reese. You're making me sad. I can't try any of these cubes.
Nah, tons of people got them at Australian Nationals, and I
Oh, you're making me more sad.
I used my friends in the first round, and it got me okay times. As for corner twisting on that cube, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so the statement I will be assessing here is the kind of, you shouldn't be punished for something that isn't your fault in the corner twist. Nobody corner twists on purpose. Well, some people do, but that's illegal. Vast majority of corner twists happen on accident on the last turn when it's 5.33.
Yeah, it's really easy to see when people are like corner twisting on purpose, because you can.
Yeah.
It's just going to be 2 corner twists right next to each other, at the least. So that's really easy to see.
I don't think that the fact that it isn't your fault is a valid argument for making them a +2 or having no punishment. Pops are accidental, right?
Yeah.
You don't do pops on purpose. What do you get? You get a DNF.
I think the current regulations is if you change around 4 pieces at a time, then it's actually a DNF for popping.
I think you can't reassemble it in a more advantageous position.
Yeah, but once again, it's pretty obvious to see if somebody's cheating with popping.
So I don't think that the accidental argument is a good one, because a lot of things happen on accident. But like pops, corner twists, their commonness, I guess, depends on the cube you're using. It depends, how long, famously.
I touched on this last time, and it was it's really unfair to the people who use like an Oolong as their main and get a DNF because they're using a cube that they really like. So
Well, see, that's just a flaw with a cube, right? You could say, oh, I really want to use a Rubik's Brain, but unfortunately it turns horribly. Like, that's a fault of the cube. And the same, like, cubes that pop all the time. That's a fault of the cube. Cubes that corner twist all the time, fault of the cube.
yeah,
And also, you do have some degree of control over it. Like,
yeah.
depends on how rough you're turning and...
The only good thing about like corner twisting cubes is it really makes the cube companies strive harder to make their cubes not corner twist in the first place, which is really good. Like, let's go back to the Oolong when Felix got his 5.33. They pretty much made the Oolong V2 maybe a month less after that, and that was really good because that changed everybody's view on how they looked on the Oolong. So yeah, it was really cool to see that happen. But
And also, regarding the corner twist, touched on this a bit last time. Multiple corner twists. It is not unreasonable to expect that someone might get 2, 3, 4 corner twists, maybe not 4, but multiple corner twists in one solve. What do you do then? Because there are scenarios where two corner twists have happened on a cube and it's unsolvable. Similarly, there are scenarios where it is solvable. So if it is solvable, is that a +2? How do you know if it was 2 corner twists? How do you know if it's not just the OLL?
it shouldn't be, because that if they're accidental, then really that's fine, because it wasn't your fault. Again, before going back to this argument, but honestly, that shouldn't be a DNF, because once again, those two were both your accident. But it's really easy to see if somebody's cheating by doing it.
Yeah. People are going to notice it only if, like, it's a world record or something, and if you're, like, looking over the solve and seeing how they did it. And, like, it honestly, it's a really rare case. And
Okay, I'm going to throw Bryce onto this topic because I know he knows a lot about it.
yeah.
The scoring of multi-blind.
So...
Do you know a lot about it, Bryce?
No. Well, not...
Bryce, let's talk...
I'm not an expert in it.
Has anyone done a successful multi-blind here?
I did multi-blind at Australian Nationals. I finished memorizing at the 20-minute mark.
Nice.
How many cubes are you doing?
I did 2. But you get 10 minutes for each cube. So 2 times 10 equals 20, and then I finished memorizing and I got a DNF. But Brad is not content with how multi-blind is scored.
I'm not content at all. So,
Can you elaborate on regulation 9F12C?
9F12C, catchy name. This is the regulation for the scoring of multi-blind. It says, for multiple blindfolded solving, rankings are assessed based on the number of puzzles solved minus the number of puzzles not solved, where a greater difference is better. If the difference is less than 0, or if only one puzzle is solved, the attempt is considered unsolved, DNF. If competitors achieve the same result, rankings are assessed based on total time, blah 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 blah. So basically, number of puzzles solved minus number of puzzles not solved. So if you're Reese, you have 2 cubes, you solve one of them and you stuff the other one up, you get a score of 0, and that's your score. 0 isn't a DNF.
Yeah.
But if you get -1, -2, -5, then that's a DNF. It is a completely broken system. It is a terrible system for scoring multi-blind. Let's zoom out of this a bit. Let's go back to the beginning. So, multi-blind is scored at a Rubik's Cube competition.
Yes.
Competition.
Yes.
What's the purpose of a competition? I would say Olympics, chess competitions, it's to assess a skill and who is better at that skill. So who's faster at running 100 meters? That's the skill we're assessing here. And we do that by putting a bunch of people on a 100-meter track and saying, do it fastest. Who's the best at playing chess? We do that by putting a bunch of people in front of chessboards and saying, battle it out, and we'll find out who's the best. The question for multi-blind isn't what it should be. The question should be, who can solve the most puzzles blindfolded at once, or something like that.
Yeah.
The actual question is something like, who can assess the risk of, who can make a graph of their probability of solving cubes over, as when you add a cube, what's the probability that, it's just stupid, right? What you should be able to do, you should say, what can I reasonably expect to do? Can I do 5 cubes? Sure, I'm going to do the most there. And so if you're assessing who's the best at doing multi-blind, then let's say, again, you're Reese, you get a 2 out of 2 result. You do 2 cubes and you get 2.
Yeah.
Your score is 2.
Yeah.
If you're Zane Carney,
Yeah.
and you do 15 cubes,
You mean 30 cubes?
yeah. You do 15 cubes because it's the weekend and you're relaxing.
Yeah.
And you get 7 out of 15.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you get a DNF. Right?
Yeah.
Who do you reckon is the better multi-blindfolded solver out of Zane Carney and Reese Campbell, right? The person who got the 2 out of 2 or the 7 out of 15? Obviously, it's Zane Carney. And Reese got a better score because of the stupid nature of the way that we judge these things.
I agree with one of those things. I do believe that I got the better score. I do not believe in the other thing you said. I am obviously a better blindfolded solver than Zane Carney is.
Yeah. This is the terrible system. This is horrible, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, objectively, the person who solved 7 cubes blindfolded is better than the person who solved 2. Even if the former person did 8 more and failed them.
Yeah, I think it's not good at all. But then again, things like this, if Zane gets, 15 out of 30 and gets a score of 0, I do think that that's not actually possible because somebody like Zane it's hard for him to mess up on that many cubes, so he would probably get something bigger than that. I'm on the World Cubing Association right now, and the worst multi-blind result, worst multi-blind result ever is
1 out of 2 cubes in 59 minutes and 59 seconds.
5 out of 10, which, to be honest, isn't,
Yeah, that's an
isn't
awesome
too many.
result.
Yeah.
If you get 5 out of 10 cubes, that's awesome.
And then there's one person who did 1 out of 2 in 20 minutes and got better than them.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
So, yeah, it's pretty messed up.
What I want to know, who in the WCA thought this up? Who thought of this system and thought, yes, this is the proportionate, this is the fair way to judge this event. It's not. It's terrible.
It's not. I completely agree with you. It isn't a good system whatsoever, but it does give you a rough idea of who are the best blind solvers. At the top right now, we've got Marcin Kozlowski, easy. Second, we've got Grzegorz Jalocha, who got 28 out of 30,
Nice pronunciation.
which is also as good. So it does give us pretty much a rough idea of who are the best blind solvers, but there are those cases where it just is stupid. So
Which is all the cases. All the cases are just stupid.
yeah.
It's completely broken. And I don't have any other solution, mainly because I haven't thought about it at all.
Yeah.
So,
What about a cube solved and time ratio of some sort?
My friend Tamoya did a 3 out of 5 multi-blind at Nationals, and it's sad to think that a lot of people are kind of ranked higher than that. The 2 out of 3 guy who did it in 30 minutes got better than him doing 3 out of 5 in a 46. So, yeah, it's not correct.
and again, it's 2 out of 3 versus 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Those are the same score. Which one's gonna take long? Obviously the 3 out of 5, because it's more cubes.
Yeah. So, somebody really needs to work on that, because it's honestly not right.
So, back to Bryce's time over cube solved ratio or whatever. I don't think time should be a big factor here. I don't think time should be really the judge of multi-blind. So, I'm trying to think of a better system here. Could you do, percentage of cubes solved, so 3 out of 5, 60%, times number of cubes attempted? I don't know.
That would be right, because then somebody who did 1 out of 2 would get 50%, and that would just be even worse. So
Times number of cubes, though, so it'd be
times 2, which is 100.
or you
I
can
guess.
do, so 1 out of 2, a half, times 2 is 1. So there you get a score of 1.
Yeah.
3 out of 5 is 0.6, times 5 is, I don't want to get the maths wrong, so I'm going to use a calculator.
But that's the problem. That means we only have limited ranks for multiblind, because there's going to be tons of people who do, 1 out of 2, and get 1 out of 2, and then they're just going to be all ranked on the same level, so...
Then you could use time. If they get the same score, then you could use time.
Yeah. But that would be cool to see, because if you did, more than that, your ranks would drop by a bunch. Because right here, there are currently there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 people ranked.
That's good podcasting, guys.
1011th for 1 out of 2 multiblind, because they had to stop at 20 minutes, and that's just not kind of pretty.
If you're gonna have 6 people, if you're gonna have people doing it for an hour, then why not let everyone do it for an hour anyway? Unless you would have limited stations, though, I guess.
Yeah, so what we need to do is get somebody smart, like Chris Hardwick or something, to work out a better system, because the current one's just not good. Let's talk about timers and why every single timer on mobile is stupid.
I disagree with that. There are good timers. If you're on the superior mobile platform, here we go.
Yeah. That's mean.
So I'm on iOS, you two are on Android.
Yeah, we're the better ones. Yeah.
And I would like to talk about a few timers. For iOS, we're going to start with iOS because iOS comes first.
Yep.
The 2 notable timers are iTimer.
I have that one actually on my iPad, and it's okay.
That was made by Dan Cohen.
Who was 4x6x6 at the 7x7 world record holder. Yep.
Yep. And so this was the timer application of choice for those using the superior mobile operating system. For quite a while, it's good. It can do basic, session average, calculate, best time, worst time, current, average, switch scramble types, automatic scrambles. And then a couple months ago, early in the year, I think, new one came along called XYZY. Hang on. Yeah, ZZYX timer.
XYZ.
Yeah.
That came out. I haven't tried that one, but is it good or?
It's very. Objectively, it's better quality. It has,
Yeah.
basic animations of, text popping in and out. It's good. It's got different color options, so you can switch between orange.
Of course, it matters. Yeah.
Yes, it does matter though. I'm on black because dark mode for life.
I will not buy a timer unless it has a pink option.
Well, you're in luck. You've also got purple, a light blue. You've got turquoise.
All the colors of the Moyu cubes.
Yeah.
On the topic of iOS timers, on my iPad, I have this timer called Chow Timer. It's like
yeah.
I've
Everybody uses Chow Timer, but the thing is, it's absolutely terrible. First thing about Chow Timer is it's the way you have to use it. It doesn't actually have an interface, so you have to use double tap with your left finger, swipe with 2 fingers at once, and that is just terrible. I mean, somebody could get used to it, but memorizing them is a pain.
I think we've touched a nerve, Bryce.
Second thing about the timer that's absolutely terrible is it doesn't start. For goodness sake, start. You actually have to hold your finger down for 2 seconds to make it start. And that's absolutely just not on. Also Scrambler is pretty bad.
Lee, the developer of this app. Sorry. Reese didn't mean it personally.
Yeah, you're a cool guy, but just no. It's honestly just a terrible timer, and it gets used by everybody, and it's just saddening, because everybody gets it now. Everybody
I
thinks it's so
personally
good.
like it, because, I haven't memorized any of the finger swipes, but there is, a page that is, tells you
Yeah, but
what to do.
But it's just a pain. You could have just gone like II timer and just clicked a button, and it would have done it for you. But this one, you have to, double. It's just no.
What I do personally is I have like 20 different sessions for different cubes, and
Yeah,
like,
I do that as well.
and they're already like set to that cube scramble, and
Yeah, I
whatever.
cry sometimes because CS timer only lets you have 15 sessions, and QQ timer only lets you have 5. And I really need a separate session for my 5x5 blindfolded attempts, okay?
Yeah.
I just want to say here, if you go into the App Store and you search Rubik's Cube timer, these are the results you've got. You've got finger timer, which looks crap. It's skeuomorphic terribleness.
I don't even know if that has scrambles. I can't remember.
And then there's
Yeah,
Cube
don't go.
timer, which just looks like a joke. It looks like a parody of a Rubik's Cube timer. Then you've got...
No, I remember somebody had finger timer, or it was speed cube timer or something like that. And the problem was with it is 2x2 scrambles were absolutely terrible, and 3x3 scrambles were pretty bad as well, because for 2x2 it would have stuff like D, U, B kind of stuff, and it was no. You don't have D's and B's and L's in 2x2 scrambles. Like, what?
Oh, yeah.
And then the second thing that they did, which was even worse, is they have, like, R prime R2. Like, what on earth? So, like, half the time you're not even scrambling it because you're just sitting there going, F prime R2 U prime U.
Third option that comes up on the App Store is Chow timer, KO timer.
Chow, I think it's pronounced, but I don't know.
Then you've got one called Speed Cube timer, which has four decimal places, apparently. Do you need to be that accurate?
Yeah.
And there's one called Saw timer, which looks like it's timed using, the circles on the Apple Watch for the activity.
Oh, okay.
Oh
It
gosh.
looks like it's timed using that. Then we've got the dots Rubik's Cube game.
Oh, yeah. That's my main timer.
Yeah. Then we've got a speed stacks timer, then finger timer full, and then finally ZYX timer, and II timer isn't even on here.
What does finger
That's
timer
sad.
full even do? It doesn't even provide you with a scramble or anything. It's just,
It's like now with added colors.
oh my gosh. It's pretty much just like a speed stacks timer, but virtual. Probably it probably has no ads with the paid version.
Yeah.
That's probably
And don't even get me started on Android. Like, Android, it's just even worse.
But one operating system at a time, Reese. Okay. So, ZYX timer, as I
XYZ.
said, release... whatever, something. I use it as my main timer, mainly because, as it is in the state of Rubik's Cube timers, it's the least terrible.
Yeah.
It is pretty good, and I know
You
the
can't-
developer comes on the...
These days you can't look at timers on mobile good. You look at them as like, this is the most terrible, this is the least terrible.
I have a couple of criticisms of it, and I know the developer comes on the Reddit Cubers forum quite often, so he might be listening to this, and if you are, sorry, but take this as constructive, not aggressive criticism. First of all, the icon sucks. It's terrible. It's like a kind of 3D view of a side of a Rubik's Cube that has a timer, like a clock in the middle.
No offense, but that's like the most first world problem I've ever heard.
Yeah, these are all first world problems. I completely acknowledge that, but they are problems nonetheless, and they can be fixed.
Children are dying in Africa, and Brad is disappointed with the logo for an app.
This is a valid criticism, right? If there's a reason that I can't have this app on my home screen, and I have to have it buried in a folder called rarely used, because I can't deal with the icon. If they improve the icon, then maybe I could bring it out to my home screen. But no, it looks terrible. It doesn't go... Just pick one color, right? Pick one color. Pick orange, because everything uses orange, and you can't go wrong with orange, unless you're audible. And then put a little white Rubik's Cube symbol on it, and then slap that in Xcode, and boom, you've got a better icon, and I can live happier.
This is how you do thumbnails for me. You open paint.net, you get a picture of a cube, and just write text, blah-de-blah, finger timer, and then surprisingly better than a lot of what people do.
So, now let's launch the app. So, down the bottom, there's the kind of row of windows that you can choose from. So you've got timer, you've got settings, they're fine. Yep. Then you've got global and training, right? Training, still don't understand how it works, right? I've been using this for months. The whole quarter of the windows, apparently, is dedicated to training. There's something called speed scramble. I tried it. I don't know what it is. You press begin, it gives you a countdown, and then it has a scramble algorithm that slowly scrolls in from the right, and then you get motivational messages up the top. I'm getting one right now saying you can do it.
Good for you. Oh, yeah, you hit that PLL really well.
And then at the end, it's like there's a cube, and you tap the squares. And then it's like, sorry, try again. I don't know what it does. So then there's OLL practice, PLL practice, LL practice. Honestly, couldn't care about them. Then you go into global. There's something called global chat, which is where people join and talk about, I don't know, the app. Problem is, right, how many people use this app? Not enough for there to be a continuous streaming global chat network of dedicated fans of XYWQ timer. And I don't see why this feature was added. It works alright, I guess. But, yeah. Then there's global algorithms. So this is alright. I'm fine with this. There's like an OLL and PLL section, and then you click on your OLL or your PLL. So like there's JPerm down here, you click on JPerm, and then people have posted algorithms, and then you can vote them up or down.
One thing that I really like about CS Timer, which no mobile timers actually have, is a CLL trader. Like, I really gave up on CLL a lot of times because I didn't really have a good way to practice it. And, you would learn all these cases, especially when you were starting out. I think I learned, like, four or five sets or something. It's really difficult, because there's not a good way to train. Because, after all, 50% of the time, even more, if you haven't learned that many sets, you're gonna get one that you don't know, then it's absolutely pointless. So there should be, like, a way where you can input the sets that you already know, and then it will test you on those sets.
Yeah. I have a website that I discovered through the SS forums that I use for EG. It does all the EGs. It does CLL, EG1, EG2. All of those practicing and learning algorithms, and it's really good. I'll find the URL and put it in the show notes.
Okay.
But back to the timer with letters. So, global algorithms, that's fine. I can see how that would be useful. That's a good feature. And then, so that's all the 4 sections. Timer, global, training, settings. Now, you'll notice, out of those 4, there is not a statistics. There is not a statistics window, okay? This is how you get to the statistics. So, once you're in the timer, you click on the top left into sessions, and then you find your session, and then you select that session, put your finger on it, swipe from right to left, and then click the stats button that appears, and then you've got statistics for that session. That's completely stupid. There should be a statistics window before, and it's not like there's some kind of problem with the coding here. He had this, and then he got rid of it in an update, and he hid it behind the little thing which is in a thing. It's too many steps, right? If I want to see what my average of 5 is, normally you would just like on the timer screen it would say current average of 5, 6 point something because I'm awesome. But no, to find your current average of 5, you click session swipe statistics, and then you need to find it, and then to go back you press the back button twice. That's too many steps. That's just ridiculous. It's completely hidden as well. Like to find where stats is, you like when he posted it, he did a post explaining like welcome to the new update. He had to actually go out and make a video of how to access stats because it was so unintuitive. If you need to make a video of how to access stats, you've failed. It should be really, I should be able to go into your app and figure out how to get to stats without going to the developer's YouTube channel and watching one of his videos on how to do it.
I think we've been ranting about this for too long now.
No, we haven't. I've got more.
My god.
Okay, so the other thing, this is the final thing, I swear, that, maybe, that completely bugs me about this application, right? If you want to start a solve, so I have inspection on, like you turn on inspection in the settings so that when you start the timer you get 15 seconds of inspection counts down. So to start that, you don't tap the screen, right? You need to hold the screen for about a second and a half. That's fine. I mean, I'd rather it just be tap. I don't think there's an option for that, but oh well. And then to start the timer, right, you'd think what you'd do, you'd hold it down and release it. But no, as soon as your finger touches the surface, the timer starts.
Oh my.
That's completely stupid, right? And
Imagine if that was like on the speed stack timers. That just
yeah, like
why
on the speed
would
sense timers, you put your hands down, you hold them there for like 1 second, and then you lift them off. Like you put your hands down, you get ready, you catch your breath, and then you start solving. It's not like okay, let me put. Oh my god, the timer's start. That's what it's like when using this timer.
And it's not like they can't make it so then you have to press and hold down because that's what you have to do to start it.
Alright, Brad's been ranting on this for over 10 minutes now. I'm sorry, Brad, but just...
No.
Okay.
Fine. Move on.
Let's go and rant about Android timers. So, Bryce uses Nano Timer.
Yeah, yeah.
I use Plus Timer, which, to be honest, is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's, a decent timer. Scrambles can't be changed, like, in variables, but most timers can't do that, which is kind of annoying. But as timers go, it's pretty good. It doesn't really have that many glitches, so, yeah.
Most of the, reviews on Nano Timer say it's the best on Android, but that's just their opinion. It's pretty much just standard, like...
A lot of people also use JJ Timer. I personally use it for 3x3 scrambles, but apart from that, I don't use it because it just doesn't work.
You guys are too positive. You need a rant.
Well, everything else is absolutely terrible.
There we go.
Yeah. Apart from that, it's... Those two are actually not that bad, to be honest.
What I don't like on Nano Timer is that it on the screen where you press and hold down to start, it shows the time and the scramble, which is just standard, and then it shows all of your times listed, including your best and worst time, which is like meh, sort of bit too much, and then it says how many solves you've done ever, your lifetime best solve, your last meet of 3, your global. It just says global average, and then it says last average of 5, best average of 5, and then it has 12, 50, and 100. There's just so much on the
Wait, so is there
timer
actually
screen.
like a timer on the screen, or is it all just like covered by stats?
It's pretty much just covered by stats, and you wouldn't be able to, like, if you showed someone the timer, they wouldn't know that was the timer screen. But most of the time you're not looking at it, and it's not too bad.
I'm still coming down. I'm still coming down from that. I just hope that Pixel Magic, or whoever the developer of this thing is, gets on that. I mean, please. It's not that hard. Like, go into Xcode, dear developer, and you change the button in Xcode so that it's on release and not on tap. Please, if you do that, I'd be so much more happier. And change the icon.